Praise God. I'm happy this morning that you are alive and that you are healthy and that God has been on your side. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your support and for being there as a family to me. Actually, you're my family, and I appreciate that so much because you're the one who has been keeping me moving by your love, and I can't take that for granted. You are amazing, you are wonderful, you are beautiful, you are handsome, everything. And remember this, that God loves you so much. He loves you. And He will keep on loving you. I want to take this time to continue with my testimony, part 2. And remember, I left it in part 1. And this is an interesting one. And I hope that you will be encouraged, you will be blessed, and you will continue serving the Most High God, our Father. So I finished Form 4 in 2013. And I told my sister, now it is my time to move out. I want to go back to my parents. So during December 2013, I went back home. And I was so very happy to stay with my family or my parents again. Even though I didn't finish the school fees for Form 4, but I knew God will be there for me to accomplish that. So I went back. I started another life there after school. And I didn't want just to be there as in I finished school, now I can relax. No. It was not the end of me or the end of what I desired to do. So in my heart, I was desiring to be a greater person, a person who can be able to help my parents, my family, a person who can go to university and college, a person who has a greater vision and dreams. So I talked to my dad, and I told my dad, you know what, I don't want just to be here, but I want to do something new and something great. And I just want you to do me a favor, talk to my aunt, and tell my aunt I want to go to her house and stay with her. I do some work, as in I help her in the house, so that he can talk to my cousin, which is her first daughter, that I may come to Nairobi, and she pay for me the school fee for college. So my dad talked to his sister, and they agreed. So I went to stay with my aunt. It was on January 2014, and I was ready to do everything. I was ready to work in a house. I was ready to work very hard because I knew what I wanted in my life. So in the morning, I could wake up, do what I'm supposed supposed to do in the house. Sometimes we go with her in the garden to harvest. And I was very hardworking because I knew that when I lose this opportunity, I could not get it again. And I will not get it again. I mean that, sorry. So everything I was told to do, I was ready to do. I worked very hard. I didn't want to know whether I'm a boy or a girl. I was working. Whatever a man could do, I could do it better. So and she really loved me because of my hard working. She keep on telling her daughter, hey, this girl, she's a very hard-working girl. And I know she will go very far. And I thank God because of what He puts in my life. So coming the same year, it was I think it was around March. My brother was riding a motorcycle and coming those sides where I'm staying with my aunt, because where my aunt is and where we are is not that far. It's a very short distance. So when he was riding a motorcycle, he went and hit a pole of electricity, and his leg was really damaged, as in it was hit. His leg was having a deep cut, very deep one. And remember, my mom was in the hospital 2013 because of the same accident. Was hit by a motorcycle, and the leg was also hurt badly. And when I came to realize that the same thing that has happened to my brother is the same thing that happened to my mom, it was very hard. It was like the devil was there to destroy my family with accidents. So I took it was around 7 p.m. and my brother came to my aunt's house bleeding. The leg was really bleeding. And we could not do first aid because the cut was deep. We took him to nearby hospital, but the doctor could not do anything. So he was transferred to another better hospital, and my aunt gave us just the transport to go to that hospital. So we went to the hospital. Hospital is in Bondo. We went there, and it was getting late. I went with him because there was no anybody who was ready to take that burden and go with him. So I volunteered and I went with him to the hospital. So we stayed there for so long. There was no one to attend to us until there is a guy came, and he was not treated there. He was again transferred to another hospital in Kisumu. So the ambulance came. I went with my brother to Kisumu. And at that time, I called my parents and I told them what happened. So because it was night, they could not come. So I went with my brother to Bondo, to Kisumu, to Kisumu to get treated there. He was, the doctor also could not attend to him immediately. He was placed on the bed for some times, for around 4 to 5 hours before they came and attended to him. And remember this, we didn't have money for the hospital because that day he was admitted. We didn't have money for the hospital. So when I called my parents, they could not even pay the money for the hospital. So I had to talk to my friends and a pastor who actually helped me to bring my brother out of the hospital. It was not that easy. And that time, remember, you were there. You have not eaten supper. You have not eaten breakfast because he was admitted for 2 days. You have not eaten. You are walking up and down too for you to find money so that he can be out of the hospital after treatment. Do you know you can be in an hospital where people have accident until when you breathe air, you just feel that blood. So I was walking and I was just the blood everywhere, and you feel that smell for blood. That thing disturbed me for quite a while, because when you are there where people are very injured, especially my brother, when the time I was with him, it was so long. I was with him in the same hospital, I was with him in the ambulance, so that smell of blood it got into me so much. So everything went like that. I was able to raise the money and I took him out of the hospital. He went back home and I went back to my aunt's place. The same year, my dad was going to a meeting of elders, and on his way, the dog came from nowhere and bite him in his leg. Do you know what? I was like a firstborn now because I was the one who is taking care of everything. So the moment he was bitten by the dog, I was called from my aunt's place, and my mom told me what happened, and he was taken to another place where he was given a first aid and a injection for the tetanus and those all other things. So my aunt told me that I want you to take care of this also. I want to give you money so that you go with your dad to the hospital in Bondo so that he can be given injection for those tetanus and other things. So I was ready to go. I was ready to do what I needed to do. So every time that my dad would go to the hospital, I was there with him. He gets treated and then we come back home. It was like, I think 3 times we went to the hospital. And I thank God that in everything he overcame for us. Through the prayer that I've been praying, he was there for us. And the devil was ashamed because he wanted my family to be destroyed. But he could not accomplish his work. But my God who is in heaven accomplished it by us shaming the devil. So my dad went and finished the injections. He was healthy again. My brother also was okay. My mom is that sometimes she gets pain on her leg because it was not treated well due to lack of money. So she has been suffering from the pain, that pain on her leg. And I believe that one day God will take over completely and she will be well soon. So 2014 still here, my aunt took me to do a computer packages. I did computer, I did exams, and I passed. So she talked to her first child and told her that I want Sheila to come to your house in Nairobi, you accommodate her, and pay for her the school fees for college. And I thank God because God was there for me. What I wanted, He was ready to do for me. I wanted to go to college and He did it for me. So I came to Nairobi 2014. I think it was September 2014. I stayed with my cousin. And I know sometimes things don't work the way you want them to work, but God was there. And also I could volunteer myself. I could do everything. I could work hard to enable me just to go to college. I was there working at 5:30. I make sure the house is clean. I make sure I've washed the car, her car, so that when she wakes up in the morning, when she wants to go to work, everything was okay, and her car also was clean. So I was working very hard about that, so that at least I don't become that person who is lazy, the person who is bringing burden in the house. So I was taken to Carlisle College. The first day I went to register there. The daughter took me Carlisle College. It is along Njogo Road. So I went there, I registered, and I started my course. Actually, I didn't know I would become a teacher because I was not told that I'm going to be taken as a teacher, as she didn't tell me anything about becoming a teacher. So when I went to register is when she told me I wanted to become a teacher. And I didn't take it as a negative thing, but I took it as a positive thing, because in everything you give thanks to the Lord. So I went there, I registered, and I started my classes. She paid for me the money for the college. And I started as an ECD teacher. I finished the college 2015, and I passed. I was the first student with a high grade. I passed well, and I started going to Kinderworld Academy, doing my attachment there. And the headmaster was very impressed with my hard working. And coming to 2016, I was employed there as a teacher. And I thank God because everything happened very fast. I became a teacher there, and I started teaching. And from there, things started to become hard again. Because in 2015, before I got that job, when I was in attachment, I don't know what happened. I just started becoming sick. Now the moment I got my job, it becomes very worse. Because in 2016 is where I started develop the urinary attraction, where I didn't know where it comes from. I could go to the hospital and being injected with very powerful medicines, but it could not work. The pain was so much, and I went to most of the hospitals, but they could not do it. So the devil was attacking me because he knew that I've overcome other things that he wanted to make me go down, but he didn't succeed. So he wanted to punish me with diseases. So in 2015, that's how I started becoming sick. 2016, I developed the yeast. It is called yeast out of the ovaries. First, it started with the yeast on my right hand. So I went to do scanning, and the yeast was not that big. It was a small one. And when I went to another hospital to show them the scanning, this doctor didn't take it seriously. He told me that this thing is not there. It is not there because I know some scanning is not, they don't give the exact thing, that the real thing. So he gave me the medicine. I went home. But remember this, it was very painful. It was very painful. Even if I took the medicine, but it could not do anything, I still felt that pain. It was very, very painful. So I walked to other hospitals, but they could not help me. So I decided, somebody directed me, a friend of mine directed me to Doctor's Plaza in Upper Hill. So I went there. They did for me scanning. I told the doctor, it was Dr. Lucy. I told Dr. Lucy how I am feeling, because she's dealing with it. She's a gynecologist. She's dealing with such issues. So I went there, and just to see him is 2,000. And just imagine, is the moment you have started earning. So you went there. I went there, and she told me to go to another place to do scan. So when I went to the place, but I didn't know the exact place because she just directed me. So I decided to go to Coptic Hospital. So when I went to Coptic Hospital, they did for me scanning, and you know what surprises me? That the doctor, the one that did for me scanning, called another doctor, a white lady, and he told him, come and see. I was like, what is wrong? Come and see. And then this white lady came, and they saw my cervix was slanting. It was slanting, and then slant. It was not in the right position. Slight. I was surprised, and I went to Dr. Lucy, because in Coptic they were paying 2,500. So when I went to Dr. Lucy told me, no, this is not the place that I sent you. I sent you to another place. So I told him, I told her, for now I can't go because I'm feeling I'm tired, and I don't think I can go now. Maybe I can go tomorrow. So I went home, and the first place I went, it was in church, because I was very discouraged and I felt low because my cervix was flat. And then I went to, next to the church is my friend called Helen Buka. I went to her house and I told her what is happening. And she told me, do you know what? You're worrying about that. And I told her, yeah, I'm very worried. And she asked me, have you gotten a man that wants to marry you? That's why you are very worried. I told her no. So we went to to her room, her children's room, where they are sleeping, and she took the anointing oil, and she told me, kneel down. I want to pray for you, so that when you go tomorrow to do another scan, it will be something different. So I knelt down, I prayed, and she told me, if there is anybody that you are holding grudge on, kindly can you release that person? Release that person and let God do something. So I released the person that I was having grudge with, and I can't tell you the person. And she really prayed. I really cried to the Lord to save me, to deliver me, and I thank God so much, because our prayers didn't go in vain. And I went to the hospital next time for scanning, and you know what? God did it. Everything was okay, apart from the yeast that was there. The cervix was okay, and Dr. Lucy started treating me. She could give me the medicines. For only one medicine is one packet. It is 1,000, around 300 and above, and you're supposed to have 2 packets for every month. So I took the medicines. After 1 month, when you finish the medicine, you go back for scanning. And remember, scanning is 4,000. It is not only 2,000, 4,000. So it's like the money that I was earning was going to the hospital every month. Every month I was in the hospital. So when the right side melted, when I went back to scanning, it was another side started. And I was taking medicines every month, every day, until all of them disappeared. And I thank God for that, because it was really bringing a big pain, it was very painful. Let me say that. The yeast are very painful. Sometimes when you eat, sometimes you can't bend. It was very painful. So I took that medicines, I was treated, and all of them disappeared. By around 2017, all of them disappeared, and I remained relieved. So when it comes to 2017, also another thing happened. And remember, I'm still also getting medicine for urinary traction, and I was also getting medicine for the yeast. So those are 2 diseases that were really disturbing me. They were really bringing me down. So coming to 2017, no, 2016 again, I developed the acidity. So acidity also was there. So I had urinary traction, I had yeast, and I had also the acid. Acidity also developed in me, and it was really disturbing me. I could not eat sometimes. Any food that you eat, you feel like it is not right with you. You feel your stomach, you feel burning, you feel even burning even at your back, there is a burning. So I was suffering with those 3 diseases. So when it comes to 2017, yeast went and all of them melted. So I was remaining with the urinary traction and the acidity. So coming 2017, July, it was June, the end of June. We usually go to church for Keshas. So that day I went, I was at work, I went home. I was staying in South B. I went home. When I went home, because I was very hungry, I wanted to eat something before I go to church. So I bought the fish and I went. Then I hear the voice of God telling me, don't eat this fish. But sometimes, you see, we take things for granted. Sometimes we don't anchor to the voice of the God. So I took the fish, and when I ate the fish, before I complete it, actually the bone stuck on my throat. And it was like, I wish I knew what God was telling me, because I think this was also attack from the powers of darkness. So I wish I could anchor to the voice of the Lord, and this thing will not happen in my life. So I ate the fish. It stuck in my throat for 4 good days. 4 good days it is there. I'm trying to eat big ugali, the way our parents usually tell us, when something like a bone stuck on your throat, you eat a ugali and then it will go. No, it was not possible for me. So I was very tired. When I sing, this thing was like tearing my throat. It was bringing some pain. It was bringing. It left there with a wound, actually. So on the fourth time, when I was trying for other things, so I went to the salon, and I went to salon, and after finishing from that place, from salon, I went and bought chapati. The moment I ate chapati, I felt it has gone, as in I've swallowed it. And remember this time, when I swallowed it, but I still felt like there's something that was remaining there, because when I swallow saliva, maybe I eat, I feel like there's something still remaining there. And the pain was really there also. So I went to the hospital. It was somebody, one of my churchmates. I explained to him, and he is a doctor. He told me to go to St. Francis. So I went to St. Francis in Thika Road. When I went to St. Francis and I told them what I'm going through, they look at it and they told me, we can't see anything there. It's like there is a wound there. But if you feel that there is something still scratching you, I want you to go to NHIF, give them this document, and let them help you to have that money to go for the surgery. So I went to the NHIF, and they told me, we can't help. When you have something to do with the bone, we don't help. We just pay for the bed. And I went back to the hospital, and I told them the same thing, because that doctor wanted me to give out 80,000, and that time I didn't have that 80,000 for the surgery. So I went back home. I was discouraged because I feel still pain. When I eat something, I feel there is a pain. And then when acid comes up, it burns here. And I feel that pain. Even I could not sing. When I sing, I feel I'm not comfortable. My throat was like dry. It was dry, and most of the time it needs you to take water. So I could not sing. And I was not happy at all, because I'm somebody who loves singing. I'm somebody who wants to be jovial all the time. So I felt I was down. When I was in the car, I was crying, because I felt like the pain was too much, the temptations were too much. It was very much on me. And I went also to other hospitals. They could not help me. So when this doctor referred me to another hospital, is in Thika, I went in that hospital, and they told me that they want 80,000 also. I could not manage to raise that 80,000. and I started to form a group with my friends. They were ready to help raising that money, and I worked in different hospitals until one day one of my friend, my churchmate called Doris, I was with her in the same vehicle, and I told her what I'm passing through, what I'm feeling, and I was speaking to her when I was shedding tears, because I felt like things were not working on me. Things were so hard. So she told me, do you know what, I want to help you. I want you to go and talk to Reverend Rose, that's my pastor. Go and talk to her and tell her what you're going through. So I talked to mom, and mom told me, I want you to go to Kijabe. I went to Kijabe. They examined me, they used the camera, and then the guy told me, the doctor told me, here we can't find anything, the bone is not there, but there is a wound. There is a wound, and that place is very red. There is a wound there, the place is very red. And then he told me, and I want to help you, as in, so that the acid that comes from the stomach don't go up on your throat, because that was also a major thing also that was disturbing me. When the acid comes from the stomach, goes up there, it burns, and when it burns it becomes red, and I feel much pain. I was feeling pain even unto these sides. When I talk, I feel pain. When I do anything, I feel pain. I could not sing, I could not do anything. I was feeling pain until when you touch here, you feel like there's something that is growing here. There was something very hard here. So I went through all those. I went also to Shalom Hospital. I went to many hospitals to get help. So I was given Omes. This Omes, when you take it, it helps you to reduce the acidity in your stomach. So when I go to work, I was just feeling I'm down. You have urinary attraction. You have acidity. Throat is there. You get money, but you don't enjoy that money. You go to the hospital every month. The moment that money reached in your bank, your work is to go to the hospital. It reached a moment when I am from work, I'm passing along the bridge flyover. I feel like jumping from that flyover and die. I was feeling like my time is over. I was feeling like I could not see the next day. When I come to sleep at night, I could tell God, my Father, I don't know whether I will see tomorrow, but I'm praying that, my Father, if I see tomorrow, let your name be glorified. Have you been in a position that you have put everything in place? As in, you see that you will not wake up in the morning. Your dreams are shattered. Whatever you can see is from here unto your hands only. You cannot see beyond that. When you sleep, you tell God, if it is your time for me to go, let me go when I'm clean. Let me go when my heart is clean. It was a hard moment that everything was shattered down. My dream was shattered. I could not see anything good in the world. I could not see anything that could make me become happy in this world. And also, I was in the position of arranging my death. Have you been in a position of arranging your death? You know the people that will come to bury you. Have you been in that position that you know tomorrow I'm dying, tomorrow I won't wake up again? Have you been in that position that you are leaving everything to God? If it is breathing, you are leaving to God because it's the one who has been giving you that breath. Have you seen yourself useless in the world? Have you seen yourself that you can't make it in the world? Everything have been shattered. Your dream have been shattered. Your future has been shattered. You can't see anything good. Have you been in a position that you want to die? Have you been in a position that you are seeing everything in this world as useless to you? So for me, I reached in that point. When I walk, I feel like I go on the road and get, or I die. When I'm in the bridge, I feel like jumping and die. But God was faithful in that moment. He was faithful in that moment. The moment that you feel that you are down. The moment that you feel that everything can't work. The moment that you feel that pain in your heart. The moment that you feel that no one is there for you. God is there for you. The moment that you feel that you can't wake up tomorrow morning, but God is telling you will wake up. He is our God. He is our God. Have you been in a situation that you have gone to many hospitals but there is no solution? Have you been in that position that you have been looking for help and there is no anybody to help you? Have you been there? But God is telling you that I'm there for you. When you feel that thing has shattered, I'm there for you. When you feel you are painful, everything is becoming worse, but I'm there for you. I didn't know that 2017 I will overcome. I knew that 2017 was my last year to be in the world. I knew that 2017 was my last year to be in the world. I didn't know I can reach to 2018. I didn't know I can reach to 2019. And I didn't know I can reach to 2020. But God has been there for me. He has been there for me from one level to another. And I want to thank Pastor Pauline for this. She's a woman of God that stood with me in every situation that I was going through. When I was down, I could go to her and tell her this is what I'm passing through, and he was there to pray with me. When I go to church, I'm seeing things are not right. I could go there to altar, pray, to worship, but there is nothing. Thank you to Bishop Kefomai. When I was about to give up, God sent him during the service. He called me and prayed for me. He told me, don't give up because God is there for you. Don't give up because you're the breadwinner for your family. Don't give up, your parents still need you. He was there to pray for me. When I felt things were shattered, he was there to pray for me. God sent him and told him what I was going through. Sometimes you can feel that everything is over, but it is not over until God says it is over. I passed in that, but God didn't leave me. He didn't leave me in all those situations. He was there for me. He is our God. Keep on going. Keep on moving. God God will not let you die before your time comes. God will not let you die until He has shamed the enemies. He will not let you die. He will not leave you. He will. And I thank God for that. Because if it is what it was my time to die, I could die in 2017. But the sicknesses were hovering all over me. When cysts were destroying me. When acidities were destroying me. When urinary traction was destroying me. God remained to be the Lord. No matter how much you have used in the hospital, but you will recover back. I just want to leave it from there for part 2. Part 3 is still coming. I want to encourage you this moment. Give everything to God. Give everything to God. And remember when I was passing through that, God keep on talking to me every night, every day. Even sometimes He can give me a word in the dream. Sometimes He can talk to me through the dream and telling me it is not over. And telling me that sickness is not your portion. You are more than a conqueror. Overcome this and I will help you to overcome. He is a God. He is a God. God will speak to you in your situations. He will speak to you in everything that you are passing through. He will speak to you when you are down. He will let somebody speak to you. He will guide somebody to speak on your behalf. I want to say thank you. I want to thank God for everything. Because I can't take it for granted. It's the Lord that gives us breath. It's the Lord that knows our future and everything that we come. Everything that comes on our way is still the Lord. And I want to thank Him this moment because all this far is because of Him. Not even because of my strength or my knowing or everything. And I want to thank God because He's faithful. He is a good God. And I got my moment to pay the school fees that remained in secondary school. The moment I got my job and I cleared everything in secondary school and I was given the certificate. And I thank God for that. He's a grateful God. He overcome for me since childhood. Now until now I gotten a job. And I will tell you more about how I went to university and did my primary education course. I will tell you all about that. May God keep you. May God lift you. In the times of need, He will be there for you. In the times of joy, He will be there for you. May you trust upon the Lord. Love Him. Love Him with all of your heart. Desire to know more about Him. Desire to be in His presence every day. Desire to serve Him. Let nothing stop you from serving God. Let nothing bring you down out of His word. Out of His ways. It's the Lord that will direct you and will will make sure that you do it and have a good thing to do. I thank you so much and I love you. And I know He will keep you safe even in this time of pandemic. It's not over until God says it is over. Remain tuned to know more about me and what God has done in my life. It is not all about me, but about God who has been there for me. Be lifted, be encouraged, because He's our God. May the favor of the Lord be upon you. May the grace of the Lord be upon you. And may His loving kindness be upon me and upon you and upon your family. In Jesus' name.